Good evening and welcome to the Orange program of Brave New Playwrights' 35th anniversary festival of shows. We are doubly blessed this evening for the fact that tonight, the 27th, is the International Day of World Theater, and we are able to celebrate that World Theater by having an excellent series of shows this evening. Our director for this evening is Matthew Rhodes. We'll be talking with him soon, and he'll be taking us through the journey of these five playwrights. And then at the end of the show, we'll have a Q&A session with himself as well as the playwrights who might be in the channel at that time to talk about their pieces, to talk about theater at this time, and to talk about anything to do with the art and craft of theater and making theater in this exceptional time. I do want to state before we get started that the Brave New Playwrights Theater Festival begins at on campus at UBC. That campus is on the unceded lands of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish people, and we are very privileged at this moment to have the opportunity to be able to present these pieces. And we would like to acknowledge that these pieces occurred, or the genesis of these pieces occurred on that land. Without further ado or delay, I'd like to introduce the director for this evening's Orange program. He is the excellent director, associate producer of the online series. I do believe it is The Show Must Go Online. Is that correct?
That's right.
And so I will hand it over to Matthew Rhodes, our director for this evening's series of shows. If you could all give him a warm hand of applause in the live channel, I'm sure he would greatly appreciate it. Just hit that applause button as much as you can. Mr. Matthew Rhodes, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. You have the floor.
Thank you, Patrick. And thank you, everyone who is joining us over there on YouTube. First off, a major thank you to everyone who makes Brave New Playwrights possible, in particular, Emma, Adriana, and Rose, two of whom are backstage tonight. Appreciate you. And of course, the creator of the festival, Brian Wade. Also, a big thank you to the directors of the previous nights, Paul and Laura, and their casts. What exceptional nights of theater. And it was such a joy to get to watch it. As Patrick mentioned, hi, I'm Matthew. I'm an emerging theater artist here in Vancouver. And over the past year, I've been working as the associate producer for The Show Must Go Online. I am absolutely delighted to be helping present these plays tonight. Before we begin, I would like to give a special welcome and thank you to Danielle Keiko Ayer, who is the stage manager for the festival and is running our sound cues tonight. Danielle?
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle, and I'm a playwright and stage manager based in Montreal, but currently located in Vancouver. As Matt said, I'm the stage manager for this year's Brave New Playwrights Festival, and I will be running sound this evening. I hope everyone has a good time. Enjoy.
Excellent. Thank you, Danielle. As mentioned by Patrick, today is World Theater Day. Even in such challenging times, to know that we can sit down, even when isolating, and breathe together as audience and performers is a gift. The magic of theater is created by us gathering, even when online. So please enjoy this evening of theater. It genuinely means so much that you joined us. Now, we are going to get the evening underway. We'll introduce you to the performers at the end of each show. So we'd like to start tonight with a play by Edie Chun called Summer of '73.
Eve and I wind our way through family housing
without looking up directions,
trying to find the preschool that she went to on campus.
I've got a map in here.
It is very cold.
It's very wet.
My leaky boots navigate through frothy gutter puddles.
Are we lost?
What? I was following you.
Right. I've got landmarks.
We are walking at the edge of the sidewalk on the curb like it's a tightrope.
I'm in front.
Eve's in front. Dun, 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 dun.
Is that one of yours?
Is
Is that song one of yours?
The Blue Danube?
I guess.
No, it's by Strauss.
Oh, cool.
It's been stuck in my head all morning. It is so annoying, to me at least. You thought that I wrote it?
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, it's cute.
Who's it by again?
Strauss. You really don't recognize it?
Mira.
What?
This is it. This is
Oh,
the road.
really?
Those are the buildings. Look, the little flags on top.
Oh,
Oh my God. Wow.
they just look like houses.
Yeah, but oh wow. Mira, this rock. I remember this rock. This rock was the place to be.
Eve will go up to the rock. She will admire it from 6 feet away as if it's a person, and she needs to practice physical distancing.
Well, it's such a significant rock, it feels like a person to me. Hello, Rock. It's nice to see you again. May I say you look younger and lovelier every day. Mira, come say hello to the rock.
Okay, hi, Rock.
Hi, Mira.
Oh.
How do you do?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just great. I hit a milestone recently. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Of course, it was more of a mile pebble. It wasn't too big of a deal.
Eve,
I just want to be bolder in life, you know? Oh, Rock, it was wonderful to see you, but I've got to go now and say hello to the goodbye window.
the goodbye window?
Yeah, right here.
It just looks like a window made of glass.
Steep as a mountain.
And this is where you would say goodbye.
Yeah, your parents would drop you off and then you could say goodbye to them through the window.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Really?
Well, it sounds like you're having to say goodbye twice.
I mean, I think it was meant to be sort of soothing. Like it smoothed the transition.
When I was a kid, I would have hated that.
I liked it. Mom would always give me a sour leaf.
What?
A sour leaf. I don't know, I think it was just a plant, like clover. But I liked it.
She basically just gave you grass.
Kind of. I mean, it was a particular kind of plant, not just grass. And I was happy.
You were happy.
I think it's nice. It's like when you're a kid, anything can be a gift. Anything you're given or that you give. It's special, kind of magic. One time, I had a nickel and I lost it. My friend, this boy, I can't remember his name, he gave me his. He said, "Here, you can have mine." And I still have that nickel.
Huh.
I thought I was so rich. What did your parents do?
Like when they would drop me off somewhere?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they would give me a hug and walk back to the car and drive off without ever looking back.
Huh.
Yeah.
Old Orpheus could have learned a thing or two from them.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's why you're so straightforward.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, you're so literal.
Oh, I'm not really sure if I would agree with that.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, you're also like so smart. You're so good at your music. And oh God, Mira, are you mad? Don't be mad. I mean, I'm jealous. I'll never be as put together as you are.
Right.
Probably because I ate too many sour leaves when I was a kid.
You know, just because I like it when things make sense it doesn't mean that I don't imagine.
I know.
I feel like people are always thinking that about me.
They're not.
I do imagine things. I make things up all the time.
I know.
It's getting really cold out here.
Do you want to leave?
I don't understand why you would say something like that.
I'm sorry.
But is it true?
Do you want to do each other's futures?
How do you do that?
It's easy. You get these rocks.
I get these rocks.
You throw them to the ground.
Oh, I roll them like dice.
And then you tell me what you see in my future.
Oh, Well, this one tells me that you have a future ahead of you, full of,
Yes.
yes, it says you're gonna be a high school art teacher.
Oh.
A really, really amazing one who inspires your students to be wonderful artists and show their art without ever feeling shy or embarrassed or weird about any of it.
That's nice, Mira, but
Oh, you don't like it?
it's just, that's what's actually happening. That's what I actually do.
Right.
Okay, well, we can make up something better. Tell me I'll paint murals. I'll paint so many murals all over the place that it looks like I've painted on the sky. Tell me that.
You will paint murals that look like the sky.
Right. And my work, my art, it'll be like all the greatest parts of art history wrapped up in one person's work. All the frescoes of the Renaissance, all the brushstrokes of the Impressionists, you get it, all at once. And no one will ever be bored when they look at my paintings and they'll understand everything.
Right.
No, actually, they'll understand something new each time they see them. That's better.
Yeah.
Room for growth.
You will do that, and you will be an amazing art teacher.
That's right.
The best.
Thanks, Mira. Okay, now I'll do yours.
Eve gathers the rocks, she shakes them, she lets them fall to the ground. She grabs a twig and traces out meanings like they're constellations. Something shifts. The sky opens, the rock gets bigger, the cedars shoot up higher than the clouds.
This line, these little stones, this is a constellation that tells me you'll be a great writer, a composer of symphonies and operas and minuets.
Minuets?
Aren't they all the same thing?
Well, I mean...
You'll compose this music just like, who's your favorite?
Shostakovich.
Somebody like that, both an easier name to say because your name is easier to say. Orchestras and philharmonics will play your pieces in great big halls, and your music will sound like a wind that no one can feel, but it will stir things, deep, deep things. And that's what all these seeing stones tell me. You can have this blue stone if you want.
Oh, thank you. You know, if we were actually alive in the Renaissance and you were one of those great painters, you'd probably grind up this stone and use it to make the blue paint for the sky or somebody's eyes.
You're right, I would.
Oh, or the sea.
Or someone's eyes.
I said that one.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm not as good at listening as you.
You listen just fine.
Funny what we hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
And how long we hold on to it.
I will keep this stone.
You should put it on your desk.
I will.
Whenever you feel stuck, it will give you all the answers you need.
Yes, it will.
Should we go?
Yeah. Oh, we go.
God, it's cold.
Oh, my feet are soaked.
The sky is full of water.
But so is the ground. But Eve knows the way.
We can just retrace our steps.
You lead.
I've got a map in here.
Thank you so much. And please welcome to the stage, Carrie Bibb as Eve. Woo!
Hi, I'm Carrie Bibb. I'm from the United States, so thank you very much for having me. I'm on the East Coast. It's late, but I'm so happy to be here. You can find me on Instagram at Carrie Bibb, CareyBibb. And thank you so much, Matt, for everything. It's been great.
You. And welcome to the stage, Helena Chen playing Mira.
Hello, my name is Helena. I am from right here in Vancouver. I like anything that is creative, and you can follow me on Instagram, Helena _. Yeah, thank you so much, Matthew.
Thank you. Thank you both. Our next play is The Frontlines by Simon Lamb. Please note that this play discusses ventilators and the passing away of family members due to COVID-19, which may be triggering for some viewers. Please take care while listening and watching. And now, The Frontline.
Hey Siri, take a picture and send it to James. Add message. Is this him? ?
Kinder, calmer, and safer. Sorry.
Where's the shopping carts in the store? Shit. Oh, there wasn't any baskets either.
Several Foods would like to thank you for being kinder, calmer, and safer during this evolving situation. We ask for your understanding and patience as we maintain BC health and safety protocols by ensuring that the baskets and carts you use are
Sean, right?
Who?
How are you, Sean? Where have you been? I'd give you a hug, but you know, gosh, it's nice to see you. How's the supermarket doing? Could I get some help? Sean?
Yes.
Yes to what, Sean?
I mean, yes. Oh, yes, Heather. Hey.
Hi. Gosh, how are you? Where have you been? It feels like forever. Still want that hug? How's the supermarket doing? Could I get some help?
Sorry, Heather, my shift's done, but I can get someone else to help, so.
Okay, here. You must be getting a lot of overtime nowadays, right? But are you getting hero pay? That must be more than minimum wage. Gosh, that's so cool of you, Sean, to keep working like a dog. I know what that's like. I got my own dog at home.
You have a dog, huh?
Yeah, don't you remember? His name's James. He's your brother. Well, you know your brother. Probably balls deep in his virtual reality on his day off at home, but James is still doing okay. This wave of the pandemic, but we're not going to break up anytime soon if anyone's asking.
Heather, do you have a mask?
Oh,
Sorry.
I said we're not going to break up anytime soon. I heard the pandemic is hard. Is anybody asking about us?
Do you have a mask?
Sorry, what?
I said, do you have a mask?
No. Oh, kidding. Of course I have a mask. I don't remember taking it off, but I was sniff checking the prime rib in the meat aisle.
We have masks behind the counter, not a problem.
Why are you asking about James? Do you miss him?
Just, can you wear a mask, please?
I said, do you miss James?
I wasn't asking about James.
You told me you'd be working here still.
Why would he tell you that?
I'm sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
Why would James be talking to you about my job?
Oh, so you are asking about James.
Wait, can we finish this, please? What are you buying anyway? Just the toilet paper? All right.
Oh, and bacon. Yeah.
Oh.
Prime rib did not pass the sniff test.
Is that your mask under the bacon?
Oh, yeah, here it is. If I put on the mask, will you give me the employee discount?
James sent you here just to get a discount on toilet paper. Hold on a second.
Is this better? Don't forget the discount. So, being kinder, calmer, safer. What's that all about? Wasn't it just be kind, calm, and safe? I said, wasn't it just be kind, calm, and safe?
I don't remember.
You know, I liked it better that way. Much shorter. I need all this toilet paper, by the way.
No worries.
I said I need all the toilet paper.
Oh, I said no worries.
You should visit James.
Just the toilet paper, yeah?
Do you want to come visit after your shift?
Sorry, I am gonna watch the Game of Thrones remake. Hoping they'll fix that ending.
James is really sorry. No.
Sorry. For what?
For not listening to you.
Not listening. That's it.
Well, what else is there?
Sorry, I just want to get out of here.
Well, we're family, right?
Family.
Yeah, you heard me.
You know he infected our entire family, right?
Really?
You heard me?
But he said that he never visited your family that entire year.
He still infected us.
But he was living in that apartment alone.
How do you even know that?
Well, he told me when we first started dating. Do you remember Tinder? That's how we met.
Did James finally set a date for the wedding? Forget it.
Well, once this wave passes, we might have it in the spring. You know, I do remember that the only other person James was meeting other than me was you, Sean. Do you remember your birthday when you became legal?
Not really.
Oh, come on. I think you do. You wanted James to buy you your first beer.
You got it wrong. I didn't want to go.
To the bar?
Our mom said it was dangerous. But James and Grandma said I wasn't a man until I had my first drink, and Mom always let James do what James wanted. I hadn't gone with James.
You didn't know. You didn't know either. Nobody knew how it spread back then.
Mom and Grandma wouldn't have been on ventilators.
Don't blame yourself.
I don't.
You don't.
I blame James for the stupid birthday. I should have stayed home, but anyway, that's why we haven't spoken in 10 years, Heather.
I know. That's why I'm here, Sean. It's been 10 years and it's long enough. Don't you think he feels bad? He lost his mom and his grandmother too.
Well, anyway, it's for friends and family, but the manager said I used it too many times this week.
Used what too many times?
The friends and family discount.
I am family.
He didn't even try to visit the hospital to say bye to Mom. Do you know that? At least a dog stays with you when you die. How can you even marry a guy like James?
Well, he's not a dog, for one. And he was sick with COVID, and so were you. He couldn't leave.
We shouldn't have gone out in a pandemic. And can you put your mask over your nose?
He's changed a lot.
I said not to be rude, but can you put your mask over your nose?
You know, he's working at the food bank.
Not to be rude, but can you put your mask on properly?
You're not being rude. But it would be really nice if you would go and visit your brother and give your future sister-in-law a discount.
Okay. With the employee discount, that'll be $186.67.
Are you sure? That's pretty high for toilet paper.
Don't forget the bacon.
I think there's a glitch on my iPhone I. It's only giving me 10% off.
We only get 10% off.
Okay. You guys take Amex?
Save Low Foods doesn't take American Express.
It's 2030. What do you mean you guys don't take Amex?
Nobody takes Amex in 2030.
Come on. Let's be calmer and kinder. Don't you think it's crazy, though? I said, don't you think it's crazy that...
I heard what you said. What do you think is crazy?
But stores still don't take American Express. What? What's wrong?
That's the only thing that's crazy to you. That's what's crazy.
Oh, I know, right? Most places didn't take American Express in 2020. So you think 10 years later.
I'm not talking about the credit card. How can you afford all this stuff anyway? A stupid iPhone implant?
Well, I got it through the food bank.
You got a $3,000 iPhone implant from a food bank.
Wait, phone. Eye implants are also covered by my health care.
Why does Apple give iPhones to a food bank but not food?
Because it's their product. Oh, they also give us money, but like, what else are they going to give us? Literal apples? You know, me and James can hook you up with a free iPhone implant.
He's in the parking lot, isn't he? I don't want anything to do with the guy who's responsible for killing my mom.
It's harsh. You know, he came in with me. Actually, he really wants to see you, but he got scared when he saw your face. But he still wants to talk to you, Sean.
Well, why would I want to talk to him?
He thinks that maybe you should stop hating him and yourself. I think so too.
I don't. That's not what this is about. And my shift's done.
Okay, then what is this really about for you? Talk to me.
People starve in 2030. There's people living on the streets in 2030. People can't put a mask on in 2030. And the fact that stores in Canada don't take American Express in 2030, that's what's crazy to you. What is this junk? I mean, why do you need all the extra toilet paper? Is this for all the bullshit that idiots like you make? Why not use a bidet? Or why not stay home? Is that really that crazy?
We can't give away bidets at a food bank.
Oh, you can't give away bidets at a food bank.
No. And we're an American company, so we use American Express. It cuts operating costs for us.
So why the extra toilet paper?
It's hard to find a reliable supplier these days, and it's harder for some of our clients to find toilet paper where they live. You know, families need to go to the bathroom too.
Well, what's with the bacon?
I like bacon. You're off shift, right? Oh, sorry about the mask thing, by the way.
James really in the parking lot?
Yeah. He needs a best man for the wedding. When we actually have it, of course, you know, it's not his fault or your fault too for what happened.
About what?
About your mom, about my mother-in-law. I really don't think that she would want her two sons hating each other or themselves. You know, thanks for the discount, by the way. It's really gonna help the food bank. Hopefully, I'll see you soon.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And now please welcome Laura Burke as Heather.
Oh, well, hello. Hi, I'm coming to you from Vancouver. Super happy to be here. This is my first time working with BBC. You can find me on Instagram at Lola Bonita22, LOLABONITA 22. Thanks so much.
Excellent. And Liam McCulley as Sean.
Hi, I'm Liam. I got nothing to plug. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you both. Our next performance is Suspended by Jessica Kim. Please note that this play contains homophobic language that may be triggering for some viewers. Please take care while listening and watching. And now, Suspended.
I know, Mom. Luna's doing fine. Yeah, I know making friends in a new school is hard. She's not a kid, right? I know she gets into trouble, okay? It just happens. Yeah, I'm taking care of her. I have work, you know? I can't be there for her 24/7. I'm sure a 15-year-old is fine making instant noodles every now and then, okay? She likes the instant noodles. That's why she tells you about them.
Honey, big sis, guess what? I got suspended.
Okay, love you, bye. Luna, what the hell?
Yeah, so my homeroom teacher found out that Hannah and I were dating.
She what?
Well, then I asked her what the problem was.
What the problem was, you know.
Because it's not like they have a policy against dating, right?
Well, high school couples are usually frowned upon already anyway.
Yeah, so, I kicked her.
You kicked her?
Just lightly on the shins.
Wow. I want to just lightly punch you right about now.
I said, this is injustice.
Injustice? You have the gall to say injustice when you kicked her?
And I said, wait till Hannah's parents hear about this. She won't get away with this. And Hannah, she went all pale.
Poor girl.
Then I got suspended for talking back and kicking the teacher.
Why am I not surprised?
Kicking the teacher.
Why am I not surprised? But what about Hannah?
You think they'd suspend Hannah? Fat chance.
Touché.
We're gonna have a strike. We are.
You're the one paying, not getting paid.
If we don't go to school and the teachers don't get paid, we'll stand outside with signs with rainbows on them.
You can't just have a strike.
You're a bore.
How unfortunate.
I already got people to sign the petition. We're gonna take it up to the Blue House.
Stop. Please tell me you're not serious.
I am so dead serious. Anna said she'd do it with me. She says injustice too, she does.
You think the president of Korea will care about a couple of gay kids getting suspended from high school? Oh, sorry. It's just one gay kid because rich people can do whatever the hell they want and they just make an example out of the regular ones. He'll probably come down with a medal for your teacher. We will honor and reward this medal to the Teacher of the Year for redirecting our children into the light and maintaining the status quo of heterosexual bullshit. That chance. Take a petition up to the Blue House. You should hear yourself.
God, you're always so negative.
I'm trying to be realistic and I'm trying to not get you expelled. I'm gonna go to the school ASAP to talk with the principal.
I never wanted to come to this stupid school anyway.
You don't think I didn't know that you came here for Hannah? A musical career, my ass. You just want to be with your stupid girlfriend.
I told you about her because I thought you'd understand. Because I thought you'd understand. We're just like any other people.
No. You told me because you knew I'd let you get away with it. If you're so proud, why don't you take this up to Mom? I bet you can't do it.
This isn't fair.
Yeah, life isn't fair.
This is injustice.
See if I care. I let you stay here. I pay for your school. I even let you stay with Hannah. Why do I let you? It's unnatural. It's not right. It isn't right. Why do I let you? Why?
I see how it really is for you.
I'm like, one thing at a time, Mom. I know, I'm sorry I hung up on you. No, she's not suspended. She was just messing with me. Yeah, she came home early because she was feeling sick, and we're just about to go to the clinic. I know. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay, we have to go. I'll call you later. Okay, I will. Okay, bye.
Dear Bill, my only sister, this reads like a suicide note, but it isn't. But it practically is, isn't it? There's a letter attached in the back for Mom. Please take it to her. Tell her I'll be fine and you'll be there. You're much more capable anyway. You're older, so by default, much wiser, much better fit for the last one standing. I'm sorry about swiping your wallet. Maybe it will be much cheaper by when they finally get that bullet train going. But then they've been working on it for almost 10 years. Maybe it's like one of those things that they say they're going to do and then like don't. Like they were going to build a new gym for our elementary school, or that big famous cathedral in Spain that's been under construction for 100 years. 100 years. Like who could ever commit for that long?
4-year-old me, probably. She probably doesn't remember that saying Mom always brings up about sacrificing the small for the big. But who is she to decide which is which? And who am I to decide which is which for you?
Anyway, by the time you read this, Hannah and I will be gone. We're going to travel around the country for a bit. Wait, I probably shouldn't tell you exactly where we're going. You must think I'm such an idiot. You're right. I shouldn't have kicked her or gone on a strike. It wasn't just my life that I ruined. It was Hannah's too. I should have listened to you. This is the only way now, and we'll have each other no matter what. I don't think you need to worry, but you will anyway. You always do. Remember how happy Mom was when I made it to the school? She was so proud. She said, I'll really get our family up and going again. I knew you were upset about me getting all the spotlight, but for me it was stifling. The expectations were too bright and too hot, and you're right. I'm ungrateful and selfish for abandoning it. I came all the way here for a girl I met online. Neither of us have ever felt like this before. But everyone else already knew. They already knew what it feels like to hold hands while you walk each other home or share popcorn from the same tub at the cinema. I feel like we've been robbed of something so important this whole time, and nobody told us. It just isn't, well, fair. I'm sorry I made you sacrifice so much for such trivial things. I know you both expected better of me, and I'm sorry for running away from it all.
Hello? Have you found her? Yes, the other girl's been home all night. I know. Please, please find my sister. Yes, I'll be home in case she comes back. Thank you. Oh my God, Luna, where have you been?
She didn't come. Honey, Hannah didn't come.
Luna,
She said we'd run away together. She said it would be okay as long as she lied. She lied to me. She lied to me.
Hey, it's okay.
It's not okay. I left you to take care of everything. For what? For nothing.
It's what your only big sister is for, right?
It shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to.
Look at my baby sister all grown up. All it took was a runaway attempt and heartbreak. It truly is every teenager's turning point. Don't worry about it.
You don't mean that.
You're right, I don't.
Are you mad?
Well, I don't tell lies, so yes.
How about Mom?
Well, I was going to tell her if you really didn't come back, but I knew you would.
Why?
Don't be mad, but I went to your school today, and it's what anyone should have done.
Touche.
And, well, you weren't lying. You did kick a teacher. But she does have a stick up her ass.
She's such a horror, isn't she?
Absolutely. She was all like, you really ought to educate your sister better. And then I was like, great. Another lady who thinks I'm your mom.
You didn't really say that.
Oh, you're right, I didn't.
Well,
Well, I wish I did.
say that you're my mom.
No. Yes, I mean, maybe. Well, what I'm trying to say is I'm sorry. Sorry for what I said.
It's okay.
Huh?
You don't have to try so hard. I know it's hard for you to get, but can we ignore it? You don't always have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Even if you do, it'll still be there. I thought it'd disappear once I've told you, but
It's still here.
exactly. It's not something that's weird anymore. It's part of my life now, our lives. We can acknowledge that it's there and move on.
But that wouldn't solve anything.
But there's nothing to solve.
Oh.
And we can always come back to it, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Did the teacher say anything about,
I don't know what exactly happened, Luna, but she told me Hannah's transferring schools.
What?
Your teacher, she told me not to tell you, I guess, word from her parents. But when I got back home, you were gone, just this letter.
Can we burn that later? It's so embarrassing.
Fat chance. I'm framing it. Oh, that's why I knew you would come back.
Because you knew she wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
God, I was so stupid.
Maybe Hannah was just scared. Maybe she chickened out at the very last minute, and she's probably been grounded.
You think so?
I do. I could see that you guys were really in love. A bit corny, but I felt it, I suppose. You know Freud?
Isn't he that like psychology dude?
Yeah, Oedipus complex, competing with your father for relations with your mother, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the female version is called the Electra complex. Same thing, different genders. It's the whole thing about how women go after men who are like their father. Do you remember Dad?
A little bit.
Hannah is a lot like him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's almost terrifying. The way she talks, moves. What I'm trying to say is, I guess I was jealous. You didn't know Dad as much as I did, but you somehow found a part of him in someone you loved.
Coincidence, probably.
I like to think it was fate. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think Hannah meant to hurt you this way.
Thank you, Annie.
It was a bit of a dick move, though, isn't it?
God, she was such a snobby bitch.
Snobby.
Snobby bitch!
Oh, shoot. I gotta tell the police that you're here.
The cops.
God, the earful we're gonna get from this.
It's okay. I'll just kick them too.
Wonderful. Thank you both. Now, please welcome to the stage Christina Kennedy as Luna.
Hi. My name is Christina, and I play Luna in the play Suspended. I am an actor, singer, performer from Vancouver, and I've been doing theater for quite a few years now, and then transitioned into film and on-camera acting, and then came back to theater for this, and it was so exciting. And thank you, Matt, for having me. It was really awesome, rehearsing and everything. You can follow me on Instagram at _Christina Kennedy. That's
fantastic. And please welcome Yura Kang as Biol.
Hi everyone, my name is Yura Kang and I just played Pyeol in the play Suspended by Jessica Kim. I am an actor based in Vancouver, and I'm also the founder and artistic producer at Iyagi Productions. I don't have social media, but please follow us at Iyagi Productions. That's EYAGI, Iyagi Productions. I just wanted to say thank you to Matthew for having me, and also for Brave New Playwrights for having me at this festival. It's so far been such a great experience, and this was my first Zoom theater, and it was really fun. Thank you for having me. Have a great night.
Thank you, Yura. Excellent. Thank you both again. Our next play is Nebuchadnezzar in the Park by Francois Pelican. This play contains descriptions of siege-caused starvation on civilians, including children. Please take care while listening and watching. And now, Nebuchadnezzar in the Park.
Please. No. You're not real. You can't be here anymore. The dream's over. I'm awake. Please leave me alone. It's not my fault. I didn't want to. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want any of this. You're not real. You're not real. He'll be here. He'll be here any minute now. He'll come through the garden, down along the marble steps, through the jasmine vines, and kneel beside me in the torchlight. Say, they're dreams, just dreams. Say, you're all right. You're all right. Say, you're not broken. You're healing. But he's wrong. You are real, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're not a dream. Can you hear me? Can you understand? You can, can't you? Why? He can't understand me. No, not anymore. Still, he comes at night, every night at midnight. He comes here beneath the garden to see me. He takes my head in his hands like he used to. He says, I'll be all right, over and over again. But when I try and answer, I can tell something's wrong. Something in my voice is broken. My words don't make sense. Ever since that night, no one can understand me. Don't look at me like that. I don't need you, or your pity, or his. I'm sick of pity. I made this, all of this. Everything you see here was made by me. Before me, no one had imagined a place like this. This garden, this palace, these walls. And Daniel thinks that I can stand here, that he can stand here beneath the garden I made him and look down on me. No, he doesn't get to. He should remember who he serves, who he's loyal to, that he's up there above the garden in my place because I put him there. He serves at my good pleasure, at the pleasure of his king. King. That's right. King. Nebuchadnezzar. King of Babylon, of the whole civilized world. Daniel's wrong. He thinks I need him, or his pity. He forgets. I made him, saved him, took him from that burning city, made him my equal, my right hand. If it wasn't for my dreams, I wouldn't be like this. I'd be up there now. With him, I'd still be king. The dreams didn't start until Jerusalem, until I took the city. It might sound strange to you, but until Jerusalem, I'd never seen one of my own wars that close up. It's one of the perks of being king. You give the orders and stay back. You're not expendable. All the fighting becomes surreal, almost distant. You ride in at the end when the battle's over and the gore's been cleared away. By the time you arrive, the city's rejoicing. Even the orphans and widows are waving palm leaves and chanting your name. You understand, don't you? It's just the way things are. You know it's a lie, but you accept it. It's the only way to keep fighting, to keep sane. But Jerusalem was different. People were different. They were chosen, they said, by God, and they believed. To them, this wasn't just some battle. This was a war for faith. They had to prove their God right. They were sure they'd win in the end, but we were pretty sure we'd win too. By the second winter of the siege, we knew they were starving. It snowed that year. Daniel says it barely ever snows. We did what we could. We sent peace offerings, asking them to surrender. They sent back bodies. Their faith was solid, they said. Their God had chosen. They wouldn't budge. But everything we heard from inside told us they were at the end of their rope. We couldn't have imagined. When we smashed through their gates in the spring, I rode in at the head of my men. Their soldiers were surviving off strips of bark and boot leather. Every leaf, every green shoot had been torn up. There wasn't a garden left in the city. The smell of wet ash and rotting flesh filled the air. There were bodies in the doorways on the roadside in their temple, bodies as thin as bones. And everywhere, children, alive, shrunken, filthy, squatting beside their parents' bodies, alone, left to fend for themselves. I made them alone. It's those children I dream of. I see their eyes watching me, staring out from the rubble of their crumpled homes. Sometimes I'm one of them, begging. I watch as I ride into town, as I become their king. I don't want to be their king. In the end, the city was only good for burning. I took the children back to Babylon with me. A few, too few. The ones who could make the journey. Daniel was one of those children. Maybe I only took them back to Babylon to stop the dreams. It's silly, I know. A king broken by his own battle, his own war. It's not right. No! You don't get to pity me. I am the king. I did what my people wanted. I was strong enough to keep going, to sack another city, to kill, to play the devil in someone other nation's holy war and win. You don't get to look at me like he does. Like I didn't save him, raise him on my food, in my drink, on my court, and make him a man at my table. He's only there above the garden because I pitied him. He doesn't get to pity me. It doesn't get to be the other way. When he comes down here, he pretends I'm getting better. I'm healing. This is just for now, he says. This isn't your forever. But I know. Sometimes I wonder how long I've known. My dreams only got worse when I returned from Jerusalem. I spent my days in the palace sleepwalking in a fog. I did whatever I could to escape the night. I took new wives, fathered children, conquered cities I'd never even heard of. And when darkness fell, I drank. Drank until the walls and curtains were gone, until the palace faded and there was no one there but me. Until I didn't have to be king. When I drank, I dreamed of those children. I spent whole nights begging. When I dreamed, I threatened. I'd wake up and lash out at anyone who could hear, anyone who dared to be in the room. I'd execute a man just for being there, because he didn't help, didn't care. I'd threaten his family, his wife, his children. I'd kill. You think I'm proud of that? You think I'm a monster, don't you? And if I am, would I be the first, the last, the worst? You don't understand, do you? You don't always get to pick what you become. It creeps up while you're not watching. One day, you're you, yourself, whole. And the next, you're something you never would have dreamed. It was my dreams that did this. On that first night that I saw Daniel, I dreamed. By then, years had passed. Daniel had grown into a man in my palace, while my dreams had grown worse. But that night was something new. I dreamed, I drank, I woke, but I couldn't remember my dream. how that was worse. Not knowing, like something was there in the dark, watching me, lurking, waiting for the second I closed my eyes. It was like the dream hadn't ended. There was no boundary between day and night. That night, I woke up more scared than I'd ever been. I was ready to kill everyone in the palace. I ordered my guards to drag in servants, counselors, wives, healers, anyone who was near. I didn't care. I just wanted them to tell me the dream, to tell me what it meant, to make it make sense, make it end. Daniel was the last one dragged into my room. The guards threw him at my feet. He looked up at me with those eyes, his hazel eyes. But he didn't look scared. He just stayed there on the floor and watched me drink and rage. He almost smiled when I threatened him. He waited until I stopped yelling to speak. When he finally spoke, he asked me a question. He said, "Why do you want to remember your dream if it scares you?" Why? No one had asked me why. No one was curious. Everyone else just wanted to escape, to make it through the night, to survive me. Why? I said I didn't have a why. He said that was all right. I didn't have to. If I gave him time, he'd try and help. He'd do his best to tell me the dream. He'd try and make it make sense, he told me. It's funny. I still don't know if what he told me that night was my dream. Somehow it didn't matter. All I know was that he was telling me the truth. He wasn't lying. He believed what he had said, looked me in the eyes, didn't tell me what I wanted to hear, or worry about making it through the night. He said he saw a stone and a statue with a golden head. He said the stone came and shattered the statue. He said that the statue was me, and the stone was something that was coming. That when the stone arrived, I'd fall. I'd stop being king. You won't be strong forever, he said. But you don't have to be. You can sleep tonight. It's not your turn. The stone isn't here yet. He said it was all right to be afraid. He dreamed too. If I wanted, he'd stay the night, stay in my room and watch me through my dreams. He'd seen something just as terrible as I'd seen in the dark. But he could stand it. He wasn't scared. He was strong enough. That night he lay beside me in my bed. He told me to listen to his breath. And I did. I slept. I slept like I hadn't in years. I know it was foolish. It was wrong to trust him. I didn't know him, but after that night, I moved him to the palace, made him my second. He stayed with me when I drank. I'd wake up sweating, scared, ready to lash out. And he'd be there. He'd breathe. He'd hold my head until I slept. I never wanted to need him to make sense. But after a while, I did. After a while, I slept more, dreamed less, drank less, gave up yelling, gave up war, and built things. I built this palace, this garden, these grounds.
we'd walk here in the garden most days. He loved walking. Said he loved it as a boy. Said when he was little he'd spend most of his evenings wandering his father's grounds. When we walked here, he wouldn't talk much. He'd run his hands through the leaves, take in the view of the city, the river, the air. But some days, we'd stay out so long that he'd finally talk. He'd keep his voice low and tell me about home, about Jerusalem. He said he could barely remember it. He said he had a sister with green eyes, a father. I remember once he told me his father's garden was larger than mine. I could never ask what happened to his family. One day at dusk, he told me about his father's garden. He said it was filled with jasmine vines, with orange and pomegranate trees. He said there was a pond in one corner of the garden, full of toads, big brown ones. Every spring, the toads would come to the edge of the pond and lay eggs. He'd take his sister there on bright days to see the eggs, the long, clear strings that ran the surface of the water. He'd take a stick and lift the eggs. He'd chase his sister through the grass, throw the strings in her hair. It was hard to think about him as a child. The next day, I ordered my men to build a pond and fill it with toads. It was silly. We set it there near the foot of our garden. I thought he'd love it. He should have. But when I took him there, I watched his eyes set, his jaw tighten. He thanked me, but I could tell from his voice that I was wrong. I was wrong to try to rebuild what I'd taken away. When he came to bed that night, it was different. He lay beside me. I slept. I woke, afraid. But he was beside me, dreaming, murmuring in his sleep. I couldn't help. Couldn't ask about his dreams. The next day, I set fire to the garden. He stayed in his room, didn't watch. He'd seen it all before. Alone, I drank and watched the flames. I imagined Jerusalem and the smell of burning toads. We kept things up as long as we could, moved every night through the old routine. I'd drink and threaten. He'd beg me not to. Try to sleep, he'd say. He'd take my head in his hands and I'd listen to his breath, but it was all different. None of it felt the same. Something was broken. He couldn't help me anymore, couldn't understand. He could only serve. He could only pity. You understand, don't you? Did we go too far? Could we ever work, king and captive, conqueror and conquered? Could it ever be right between us? Or were we doomed from the start, cursed to relive two sides of an old war? When he didn't come to bed the first night, I didn't go looking. I knew. I tried to keep going. I tried to be my old self. I built new cities, fought new wars, laid siege to anyone who opposed me. I was strong, I told myself. I made sense. I was Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. At least until night came. Till the night came, I was alone. In the end, it was a dream that brought me here. In the dream, I'm a tree. I'm a tree in his father's garden. There are birds in my hair, a pond at my feet. I drink, take in water, sun, and earth, and I grow. Soon I'm as tall as the walls of the garden. Soon I'm as tall as the walls of Jerusalem. I can see over the tops of mountains. Daniel appears beside me in the dream, but he isn't him. He's horrible. He's wings and eyes dissected, a whir of limbs. There's a fire where his chest should be. In the dream, he lays a hand on the trunk of my tree. When he speaks, I can hear him in the ground. He says, I've grown too tall. He says that my roots are stealing from the earth, from heaven. He has no choice but to cut me down. I wake as he starts cutting, but in my bed, the dream won't leave me. Awake, I watch my tree fall. My birds leave me. My carcass is wet in the grass. I'm rotting. I can feel myself rotting. I can still hear his voice in my bones saying, I won't grow again. Awake, the dream won't leave me. I can't stop screaming. By the time they drag Daniel in with the servants, I'm as bad as when we first met. They throw Daniel at my feet. He looks pitiful, tired. He won't look at me. Let the others go, he says. And I let them. I wait until we're alone, until it's just me and him, to tell him that he was the monster in my dream. His voice is weak when he answers. Your dream was a sign, he says. The stone you saw before, the stone that felled the statue, it isn't far off anymore. It's here at the door. You're sick, he says. You have been for a long time. For the first time in the night, his hazel eyes meet mine. That night, he holds my head until I won't let him. I scream until he leaves the room, until my voice breaks, until I am no longer me and I am this. I try to tell him that he's wrong, that I don't need him or his pity, that I'm king, but he can't understand. That night he gets his wish. I fall. They carry me here. And now he can't help. Can't hear me. Can't understand. No one can. Not even you. Yes. It's there on your face, too. The pity. It's all anyone has left. I'm so sick of it. I used to tell myself this wasn't my forever. This was just for now. I'd tell myself that one morning I'd wake up in wet grass and be all right. I'd walk back up the stairs. Things would make sense again, and I'd be king. I was wrong. Now I'm stuck waiting for him and his pity, waiting for the sun to rise and the night to end. All I can do is wait. Maybe waiting is healing. I don't know. If it is, it doesn't feel like it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Everyone, I would like to introduce you to Ad Tamimi, who played Nebuchadnezzar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ad Tamimi. I am a Palestinian Icelandic actor based in London. If you'd like to follow me on any socials, my Instagram is @AHDT and my Twitter is @AHDTAM. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my performance of Nebuchadnezzar in the park.
And a thank you again to Ad, who I'm sure is currently fast asleep in Iceland. Our final performance is Bus Stop by Mariana Schultz. Please note, this play discusses high school bullying and the sharing of private photos among minors. Please take care while listening and watching. And without further ado, Bus Stop.
Hey, sorry I left already. I'm going to that thing you told me about at the community center. So I won't be home for dinner. I'm taking the bus. It's gonna be late. Okay, bye.
Blair?
Hey. Oh.
Holly from band class, flute buddies.
Yeah, I know. Hi.
Oh, good. I only said that because ever since I came back to town, I haven't been able to recognize anyone from high school. Like, if I see them at the grocery store or whatever, people keep on coming up to me and saying, everyone's changed, I guess.
Beyond recognition.
Exactly.
Well, except for you.
I guess. I like to think I've changed a little. I mean, I don't play the flute anymore.
Well, that's too bad. I still like it, but I always basically thought you've always been the person you were meant to be.
You really think so?
Yeah.
That's nice. I've always thought change was overrated. Can you believe it's been 4 years since we graduated high school and 4 years since I've seen you?
Insane.
Do you know when the bus is coming? You said it was going to be late.
I did?
On the phone.
Oh, yeah, it's always late.
Forgot about that too.
Why? Is there somewhere you need to be?
I'm going to Isaac's. He's having a little shindig for everyone who just moved home after graduation.
That sounds fun. I guess I'm not qualified then.
Why not? You can come if you want.
No, because I didn't just move home.
Oh, you went to school here. I thought you went to McGill.
No, I've been working at Bandy Cuts. I just got my hairstylist license.
Wow, that's so cool. Do you like it?
I do. Okay, I remember being tired of them pushing traits on us all through grade 12, but yeah, now I really like it.
I can't imagine feeling like I was really so to be something. That must be nice. God, who am I thinking of that went to McGill? It was someone smart?
Louisa went to McGill.
Louisa Parent, you're right. Huh. She was always kind of slutty.
I always thought she was nice and smart.
I'm not saying she wasn't. I do remember you didn't like her, though. You thought she was a know-it-all.
I don't think I would have said that.
Maybe that wasn't you then.
So, who's going to this party?
Who knows? I guess it would be Alana, May, Vincent, Ferrara, Isaac. There's more.
The usual.
Yeah. Do you want to come?
Oh, no thanks.
Oh, what do you mean? You're welcome to hang.
I think that would be weird.
What? No, it wouldn't. We're all friends.
Oh, well, they're more your friends, and you and me aren't really friends anymore, are we?
That's just what happens after high school. People drift, obviously, but that doesn't mean we can't reconnect. I mean, I haven't seen Isaac in like 2 years.
I just don't think it would be a good idea.
Hey, why not? Why? Where are you going that's so important?
It's not that. I just don't want to hang out with you.
Oh, wait, why?
Do we really have to tell you?
I mean, you don't have to if you...
You weren't that nice to me in high school. You were kind of shitty, actually.
Are you sure this is me you're thinking of? You're not getting me mixed up with someone else, are you?
Yes, I'm sure. You weren't a very nice friend back then, and it doesn't seem like you've changed very much since.
We weren't even that close. Why are you allowed to analyze, like, my goodness as a person right now?
Okay, we weren't that close. Why did you just invite me to Isaac's?
I don't know. I was just trying to be nice.
Well, being nice isn't just inviting people to parties and stuff, you know. It's more work than that.
Since when are you a life coach?
I'm just saying, isn't The whole point of university to find yourself and turn into the person you are meant to be.
You don't have to go to university to do that.
You were my best friend, and I know you had a lot of friends, and I probably wasn't one of your best friends, but maybe not even close. But you were mine, and I think you knew that.
My best friend was Annika H. Can you please just tell me what I did and get this over with?
That's not what this is.
It's not.
Oh, okay, it's just a bunch of little things. Like, you would always ignore me if I said hi to you in the hallways and you were with your other friends.
I probably just didn't hear you.
And you ditched plans with me if better ones came up.
That doesn't sound like me.
You made fun of my flute solo in front of the whole ensemble for a laugh.
You said you thought it was funny too. I didn't do any of that stuff. I honestly think you're misremembering. And even if I did, who cares? It was high school. I can't believe you would hold on to that stuff for so long.
You don't have to get mad. It's just who you are.
Stop trying to tell me what kind of person I am. It's so condescending.
And you still hang out with Isaac.
Okay. What happened between you and Isaac was messed up and objectively horrible, but
Between
that doesn't
us? You mean between me and the entire school?
I'm 100% sure that no one even remembers anymore.
It's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me.
That kind of stuff happens to everybody you know, if that makes you feel any better. And it's probably going to keep happening for a long time. That's just life. Pics got leaked of basically every girl at school at some point.
Just not you.
I'm not taking responsibility for this. We weren't even that close.
Well, you were to me.
Well, yeah, well, you weren't to me. You were just this nice, but no offense, sometimes annoying girl who sat next to me in band class. And I'm sorry if that sucks for you. That's really just your problem. I'm sorry that at one point I wasn't a decent person and didn't do the right thing, and that incident happened to include you. That doesn't make me the bitch.
You knew I didn't have any real friends, and you were the only one who could have stood up for me.
I never thought about if you had other real friends, to be honest. I just didn't think about you.
You know, you're still one of the closest friends I've had. And the part of my brain that's supposed to connect with people, it's missing or empty. I don't know. Maybe I just don't know how to use it. No, actually, the reason I'm at this bus stop is to go to the community center for a mixer for people in their early 20s. Just a bunch of losers who can't make friends any other way. My mom slipped the clipping under my door. She's always doing stuff like that. And for some reason, I was able to get my shoes on and get out of the house. I know we didn't have a lot in common, but you are the only person who's even a little bit nice to me, or the only person who seemed to notice me. I didn't even make enough of an impression for anyone to be mean to me. And it's thanks to you that Isaac even knew I existed. I don't think I ever told you this, but I had like the biggest crush on him since 4th grade, but I'd never even spoken to him. And I sent him those photos of myself like an idiot. I don't think he even asked for them, but I thought maybe they'd think I was cool or something. I was so fucking dumb. And everyone saw them, even you, I guess. It would have been so much better if you could have said something to Isaac or any of the guys that were passing around. You hung out with them all the time. And even if they didn't listen to you, well, of course they wouldn't listen to you, but that would have been enough for me. But you wouldn't even let me talk to you about it. You wouldn't even let me bring it up. You wouldn't even acknowledge what had happened. And I needed that so badly. That's all. Really.
You weren't an idiot.
What do you mean?
Hi. Yeah, I felt her bowl before I left. I don't know. What? Oh my god, how? I thought the vet said we had another year. It's okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. My dog just died.
Really?
Yeah, she had cancer, but we thought we still had time.
Perfect timing.
What?
Doesn't this seem a little bit convenient? Didn't you just come here from your house?
What are you saying?
This is just so you.
You barely even know me.
Oh, and no one's allowed to make one observation about you that you haven't approved of, are they?
You really think I'd fake a phone call to turn the emotional tables on you?
I just don't know how you always manage to be the victim.
You're being ridiculous. Can you please just stop?
If your dog's dead, why are you still here?
What?
Don't you want to be with your family? Don't you want to go back home?
My friends, they're expecting me.
Where the fuck is that bus?
I really thought we had more time. I never even liked her that much.
Your dog?
Her name was Barbie. I was the one that named her.
Cute.
She was a gift for me. I never asked my parents for one, but my parents gave it to me anyways.
Well, I always wanted one.
I would have been happy with a doll, obviously, but she ended up being completely my responsibility. I trained her and took her on walks just because no one else was going to. Except I was a kid. And I trained her badly, and she was always chewing up my shoes, and my parents were always getting mad at me about it. I was her favorite because I was the only one taking her on walks. She was always kind of a chore. I barely seen her in the last few years of university. She changed. She got old and cuddly and slow, and now she's dead. I just wish we'd never gotten her in the first place.
Really? You wish you'd never gotten a dog at all?
Yeah. No, because now I'm depressed over a dog I didn't even like.
Well, there must have been something good you got out of having her.
There was some good, but not enough for it to be worth it. Like, now this is going to ruin my week. Now I can't go to Isaac's party. If I had never had a dog, I'd be like you. I'd never even miss it.
Did you even want to go to Isaac's party?
I told them I'd be there.
Who cares?
You're right. Yeah, no, you're right. I need to get better at that.
Better at what?
I don't know. Being able to tell what's important, what opinions matter or which ones don't. I know Isaac's doesn't. I forgot about that.
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm sorry I made fun of your flute solo.
I'm sorry about your dog.
I'm not going to Isaac's.
Okay.
I'm going to go home. Are you good by yourself?
Oh, yeah, the bus will be here any second.
Well, I hope your night goes well. I hope what you're looking for comes your way.
Thanks. Oh, look. Here it comes now.
And thank you so much. Now, please welcome Julia Halaborda as Blair. Woo!
Hi, my name is Julia. This is my second year with Brave New Playwrights and second year with Zoom Theatre with Brave New Playwrights. I'm from Burnaby, and when I'm not teaching or doing theatre, I am studying to work in fine arts nonprofit management. Hello, thank you for watching.
And please welcome Ashlyn Mead as Polly. Woo!
Hello, my name is Ashlyn Mead. I was playing Polly. This is my first year with Brave New Playwrights, and it's really cool to be on Zoom. I'm located on Vancouver Island, and I'm an actress.
Fantastic. And that, honored guests, is the Orange program. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you again to all the people and the cast, this incredible cast who made these shows possible. Please make sure to check out the other evenings of play readings if you haven't already. They're on the YouTube channel, as well as the full productions, which will be released soon, and actually feature a couple of the performers that you saw tonight. And again, thank you for joining us, and thank you to these incredible artists tonight. Patrick.
And I want to give a great hand to the director, Matthew Rhodes. Thank you again so much for the work that you've done tonight. If you're still with us, please do stick around. We are going to be spending some time over the next little while speaking to the playwrights who are with us tonight. I do believe we have Mariana Schultz, who is the writer of Bus Stop, which is fantastic, and Francois Pelican, who is the writer of Nebuchadnezzar in the Park. They are both with us here tonight. If they're willing to come on their cameras and say hello, that would be wonderful. If everybody in the channel could give them a warm hand. This event, the Brave New Playwrights event, is for these playwrights. This has always been designed with them in mind. The idea of hearing and seeing their works being staged live in any particular format that we can find. For this last 2 years, the virtual medium has been our medium of choice, more by design than any particular decision of ours, but it seemed to have worked really well. So I do want to welcome them both. Mariana and Francois, if you could both say hello so that everybody in YouTube land can get a wonderful view of you, as well as to applaud for your works that have been happening. Bus Stop, Mariana Schultz, if you could say hi, that'd be fantastic.
Hi, everyone. I wrote Bus Stop, as Patrick has just said. Thanks for being here tonight.
Excellent. And we also have with us Francois Pelican, the writer of Nebuchadnezzar in the Park. If you could just say hello, wave around, maybe not a dance, but just
give you my best Queen's wave.
That's a very good stately wave. That is an
Hey,
excellent stately wave. So I'd like to ask the playwrights a couple of questions. I'll also be asking Matthew a few questions as well. But first, I'd like to start with Mariana. With Bus Stop, you have this really great. It's one of those great classic awkward moment situations that you've extended to some really painful places. It goes somewhat unexpectedly. It was one of the reasons why I really enjoyed it myself, reading it as well as seeing it. Can you talk about structuring that piece? Like, where did you come at this? Like, where were you realizing that you needed to have those drops happen? Like, how was it that you came to you're like, oh, now is the point that this moment needs to happen, and now this drop needs to occur? Was that more, did you think of them first, or was it the situation as the bus stop that you started off with?
I guess I started writing this play with the bus stop in mind, because that was the set that we needed to keep. I just wanted to keep people not really moving and keep them 6 feet apart, as we would have needed if the plays had gone live. But yeah, emotional drops. I don't know, I guess they just they came naturally to me in the writing process. I wanted both characters to kind of have their moment to share. I wanted them both to be able to be like vulnerable and have moments where we can see their sides of the story. Like, I didn't want there to just be one person whose side we were on. So yeah.
Was that easy, or was that hard for you for either character? Which was harder for you to get on side for?
I think the way it came out, it's probably harder to get on Polly's side, but I really didn't want to make a case for her. I think a lot of people have probably been have experienced both sides of that story. And I left Polly's side to kind of come in near the end. So throughout the play, you've been seeing things mostly through Blair's eyes, and hopefully the like a little kind of twist in perspective at the end brings us into Polly's perspective and kind of hopefully brings the audience around a little bit.
It works so well, and it's really satisfying to see that moment happen, especially like to have it come off and be like, oh yeah, this is. And I do want to ask a couple more questions about the play. I have many questions about it, and they are all like good ones. It's like, how about this? Like, this is fantastic what you did. And so I will get back to that, but I do want to turn to Francois' piece, Nebuchadnezzar in the Park. This is a one-man show that is built up over the course of a 15 to 20-minute piece. Can you talk about how you managed to pull that together? Like, for you, what was the most difficult thing as far as keeping focus for an audience for those 15 to 20 minutes? It's just one guy, and it's shattering. Like, it's a shattering moment of theater. How are you, like, what went into keeping that thing aloft for those 15 to 20 minutes?
That's a great question. I have never tried to write a one-man show / monologue piece before, and the medium, I think, kind of set the track for it. So being outdoors definitely gave it some limitations, and then the outdoors turned into a square by which you are seeing me now. And I think that set more intention. So in terms of trying to keep it aloft, I knew I had technically a tragedy in mind with the biblical demise of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. And then it was about trying to work backwards. How does this fall happen? How does this dude end up naked beneath the hanging gardens living for 7 years, which unfortunately the actor was not fully naked in this, but he absolutely sold the sort of up close insane asylum vibe, which I really got into. But yeah, it was just about trying to work towards that demise and work to all the beats that the book of Daniel has that progress towards the fall of this king, these two very important signpost dreams. So it's sort of like it's gay Bible fan fiction, which was fun to work on. Never thought about doing that.
And it came out so well. I like that label for it, but it came out so well. It worked really, really well. I do want to turn to Mariana for a second just to talk about Bus Stop and the question of allies in this. It seems as if like it's one of the most painful missing points in this, in that what she's really looking for, or what she was really looking for from her who she thought was her friend, was to be an ally, and that just wasn't happening. And it's such a fascinating gap that occurs in that piece that's just painful. Like, it's gut wrenching to see it. Can you talk about that, or did you want to talk about that at all? Or
Sure. Yeah. Well, actually, like, one of the main things going into this piece that I wanted to explore was kind of perspective and how people, like, the inconsistencies that people like kind of perceive each other with. Like, as we know, like, Polly viewed Blair like as like not much of a friend of her life because maybe she had like so many other people, and it was the opposite for Blair. So while Polly was like someone who was like very important, and like her opinion and support really mattered to her, like maybe to Polly, Blair wasn't like such an important person, or someone that she thought that she needed to be supporting, because she like didn't know that, she wasn't like aware maybe that she was the only person in Polly's life. So like obviously allyship in those situations, like when there's like such an invasion of privacy and it's like so public, that's something that's really like serious and painful. And yeah, it's really like, it's a sad story on Blair's part from when she was a teenager and like so vulnerable. But at the same time, I don't think that, well, Polly is to blame partly, but I think that it's like understandable that in maybe that moment that she hadn't realized how big of a person she was in Blair's life, and how important it was that she be an ally to Blair at that time.
Excellent. I'll take a shift of gears here and throw some questions at Matthew Rose just in terms of the technical aspects of this. So you have experience having done virtual shows prior to. Do you want to talk about some of the challenges of directing a virtual series of performances like this one?
Sure, though I'll also admit I'm still quite a new director, so it's less a challenges of, or the exciting parts of directing virtually versus directing normally. They're one and the same for me right now. But yeah, it's you're working with so many limitations, you know, with like these are readings. Some of the performers chose to memorize, and great job to them. And those that stayed on book, fantastic. But so we need to figure out the way to keep things on book. The performers have to work with the fact that you can't be looking in the eyes, or it's harder to look in the eyes of your stage partner. And it's just in so many ways different from what we're used to on stage. But one of the things that I learned over my experience with digital theater for the last year is not to lament what we're missing, but to get excited about what's there. So like, so for example, one of the things that Zoom theater takes from film is the fact that we're so intimate. Like Francois said, with Nebuchadnezzar, we're right there with him. With Bus Stop, we're in the middle of this argument. We're not cutting between different points of view. We're literally positioned right in front of both of them. And that's just such an exciting opportunity to be surrounded by it. And so I think that that's something that is a strength of the medium. And I think that the performers just far and away ran with it. And I think that it really, it was so exciting to look at these plays with that, if that makes sense.
It does. It absolutely does. And now that we've mentioned a little bit about the plays, I do want to open this somewhat open-ended question up to Mariana and Francois, because I do know that this year you guys did have the considerations in mind for writing for social distancing, as well as once we had shifted to doing the virtual performances, writing for that. How did that factor into your process in writing these pieces? Did it make it harder or easier, or what? That's the end of that open-ended question. Did it make it harder or easier, or ... Mariana and Francois.
I'm happy to jump on that first, Mariana, if you're cool with it. Hi, also Mariana, nice to see you. I always feel like if you put one arm behind your back, you're gonna do better with whatever's left. You know, like you gotta pick your fight with the whatever hand's left better. So for whatever reason, like I had this idea kicking around about a monologue by a crazy king of Babylon. And I was like, why would you try to do that? That's stupid. And then they're like, oh, you have to do this outdoors. So I was like, let's put a naked actor outdoors and cover him in dirt and make him look like a lion, and then have him charge the audience and be this, you know, play with this part of the medium. So I think the constraint of the initial sites that we were writing to really pushed me into writing something I imagine I would not have tried to mess with, like the constraint of it to even I've always felt like there was a lot of audacity to writing a monologue, like a lot of pretending you can just talk for 20 minutes when you really shouldn't. And I feel like I got an excuse to, so, you know, bit of column A, bit of B, but yeah, that's mine.
Mariana, how was it for you and the coming out of bus stop? You had mentioned earlier just that the bus stop had been one of the locations. Did you feel when you walked into the class at the beginning that those constraints were going to be difficult, or did you feel like you had some good ideas in mind at the time?
Um, well, actually, it wasn't a bus stop that wasn't one of the locations. That was just something that I felt you could do 6 feet apart. But yeah, I like restrictions because I'm so indecisive. So it was nice that we were only going to be able to have like 2 actors, and it was had to be outside, and they had to like be able to social distance. So it kind of made things simple for deciding a scenario. Um, and then what can you do with like 2 people like just standing apart from each other? Just make them talk and make them argue to make it a little interesting. So yeah, that's how the restrictions kind of affected my idea for this play.
Excellent. There is one thing, last thing that I wanted to ask all three of you. I will answer it first, and then I will allow you guys to answer as well. Have you guys found any benefits of these virtual performances that a live performance might not have been like that might not have happened? For me personally, the thing that has been a benefit is that we've never been able to do this before. In terms of Brave News productions, we've never had Q&As with the playwrights. I it's a wonderful experience. I get a chance to talk to people about plays that I'm excited about. I was excited to talk about Nebuchadnezzar in the Park. I am so excited to talk about Bus Stop. There's so many things that I'm like, and there's this, and there's this, and did you think this? And it's really just kind of me just sort of fanboying about like these scripts that I had a wonderful opportunity to see. But we've never had this opportunity to actually host and have questions to the playwrights before. So I do think that in terms of this virtual performance over the last 2 years, that's been one of the things that I have taken as a blessing from these virtual performances. I will open that question up to you guys, Matthew, Mariana, Francois. Have you found anything to be a benefit from this last from these virtual performances? There are no wrong answers.
I'll jump on it again. I like the idea that I can send a link with, that damn. I love the performance, so I can just be like, "Hey, you didn't watch this live on YouTube, and now I can show you what my play looked like up close. As though you got front row seats." So that's a cool perk, and this part's fun. I like running my mouth for no reason. Me and Patrick have that in common. So it's nice to be able to talk about what you're writing and not just write in your empty room for a long time.
Mariana?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton to say. I don't have any comparison to writing for a live production. This is like my first play. So Zoom is all I know in terms of theater production, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I guess it's nice to have the recording so I can, if I ever want to send it to anyone, I can, like Francois was saying. I guess that's something that's nice about having everything on Zoom. It makes it very shareable and like accessible to anyone, like wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. Yeah, the Q&A part is cool too. Glad I'm here. Yeah, I think that's all I got for Zoom pros.
That's fine. And I just have to mention in passing, if you're caught the tail end of this and you missed Bus Stop, please do go back and watch it at some point. Mariana Schultz is selling herself a little bit short for like her first play ever. That was some solid work. That was pretty outstanding. So like, that's that. I will now turn that final question over to Matthew Rhodes. The benefits of virtual performance.
I mean, I'm slightly biased because it's primarily what I'm doing right now. When everything else is closed. So I would say that there are a lot of benefits. I'll try and not list them all. But I think that one that stood out to me tonight was, again, that idea that you're placed in the middle. And so you're thrown onto both sides of a dialogue. And I feel like what really shone through with these incredible plays is like the heart at the center of all characters, that a playwright doesn't just every character has such a strong beating heart, and you get to watch that. And with Zoom, you get these incredible performances. You get sorry, you get the intimacy of film, the fact that I can watch your eyes, and I can just watch your eyes, and I can notice like subtle changes in your face. But also I get the sustained shot of it like I do in theater as well. And I can kind of choose to watch where I want to watch, which I think also demands so much listening from the performers. Not that an in-person performance doesn't, but I've referred to Zoom theater as the Hamlet of active listening, because it is so much work to listen that closely. And I think that the performers tonight really exemplified that. Yeah.
And that is going to be it for us for this evening, I'm afraid. Is there anything that our playwrights would like to add before we leave for the evening?
Thanks, Matthew, for directing my this play, and to the actors. I don't know if they're still here, but it was really fun seeing them perform tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, huge shout out to Adat Halimi. That he crushed it. I didn't get to meet him or say thank you, but great job on Matt's part and Patrick's part as host. And yeah, everyone, thank you.
I will take no credit for that. I will, on the other hand, move the credit along to our wonderful producers, Emelec, Rose Payne, Adriana, Brian Wade, everyone who was involved in this performance, Adriana Jones, Brian Wade, everyone who was involved in the production side of things. I am simply a humble host, and I would like to wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you all for coming out. If you're seeing this asynchronously, one of the other benefits of Brave New's virtual series of programs, I'm glad that you've come through to the end. Thank you again so much, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Good night. Good luck. Goodbye.